Well, hi everyone. I just wanted to hop on real quick and give an update of where we are with the spring adventures and almost getting into early summer adventures now, and why you have not seen that many videos. And we're not just talking about the issues going on with my back, we're going to discuss why you have not seen as many videos. And looking in the monitor, my face is red. I guess I got some sun the last few days. Wow, it's really red. Okay, anyway, so as far as the spring adventures go, here's the status. As far as camping goes, I have not been out camping yet this year. We got back into a cold pattern, and it's been like the daytime highs have been barely in the 50s, maybe 55 at most, with a strong wind at times. Overnight lows have been in the upper 30s to barely even the mid 40s, and still having quite a breeze. Now, my tent is too small to put a buddy heater in it, even though I do have a buddy heater, because you got to leave 4 inches of clearance. I only have it's rated at two person, but let's just say 1.5 person. It's a small backpacking tent. Same thing with the SUV. With my gear and myself, there's just no room for the clearance to put a small heater in. Yes, I probably could bundle up with the blankets like when I was younger and I used to go camping with my dad, but here's the other thing. I'm 30 years older now, and once you start getting older, your body just does not like the cold like it used to when you're a kid. You just cannot tolerate it that much. So that's the status on camping. The status on fishing, as it goes, kind of stopped doing freshwater fishing for the time. The bass are going to probably start spawning very shortly and getting into shallow water, so I plan on doing that. As far as trout goes, they're slowing down on the stocking of trout because it's starting to get warmer out and the water's starting to heat up. Usually the middle of May is the last stocking that they do here in Rhode Island before the water starts getting way too warm to support trout. So that's as far as freshwater fishing goes. Saltwater, as you can see by my face, like I said, it's red, looking like I got some sun. I've been out a few times, and the reason why there is no video on it is the only people catching fish right now, either tautog or striped bass, and we're coming up on the end of tautog season. Tautog season will close June 1st. Right now it's the middle of May as I'm recording this, but tautog will close June 1st and not open up again until August. Scup or porgies, as you might know them up here in Rhode Island, we call them scup. That is just opening up. And striped bass go year round, although they do migrate south, so the migration is just starting to come back up here as far as the schoolie goes, and there are some areas that are reporting the 30 to 40 inch mega fish, as we call them up here. But the only people catching them right now are people off of boats. Nobody's really catching them from the shoreline. I went from a few places, and everybody that was fishing the shoreline has said the same exact thing as me. Right now, the fish are just not biting. I don't know if it's because the weather has been back to a cold spell. I don't know if it's because we've been getting 12, 13 mile an hour winds. I do not like fishing in the wind. It makes casting hard. You get cold. You can't use top water because of the amount of waves. But it's also still very early in the season. But yeah, nobody's catching them from the shore. So this is why there has been no videos on saltwater fishing. Like I said, I've been going, but they're just not biting from the shoreline. As far as riding the mountain bike, like, I have not sold it yet. I have not put it up for sale. I keep procrastinating about it. I really don't want to get rid of the bike, but if I'm not going to ride it, I probably should sell it. Although my mom's like, don't be too hasty, but with what's going on with my back right now and a lot of the trails that I've walked short distances on have a lot of downfall. We're having a problem with dead trees here in Rhode Island from various burrowing type of caterpillar or beetle. Forget what they're called, but in Massachusetts, they just reported on the news that they had to take down at least 40 trees in one town and actually burn the wood because of it. Now, they have, through a grant, that the trees are going to be replanted on this plot of land or several plots that they've took these trees down, but I've shown in previous videos of what the gypsy moths or the woolly caterpillars as some call them, the lanternfly moth, the burrowing beetles and all that. I've showed you all the dead standing wood, all the dead standing trees with no box, trees that are split, all the downfall. So yeah, that's what's happening to our woodlands, and that's why I have not been out, besides my back and not being able to handle it right now. That's why I've not been out on the mountain bike much, and I really don't know when I'm going to get back on the mountain bike, to tell you the truth. Let's see, what else? Kayaking, yeah, with what's going on with my back, I haven't attempted to lift it or try paddling, but also it's been way too windy. The water has been choppy, even fresh water. We've been having days with 13-mile-an-hour winds, and kayaking and paddling just isn't fun with those winds. So that's why there's been none of that. Plus, also, we've been getting a few days with rain where it's been probably at least 3 days out of the week that we've been getting rain, and one of those days we just had like torrential downpours all day. So yeah, I mean, it's not really been a spring adventure season. It started out strong with trout fishing. The first opening week I caught 17 trout and ate a few of them. They're in my freezer right now. I made a video about making the coconut trout over rice that turned out pretty good. But yeah, I mean, right now the spring adventure season is kind of slowed down with the weather and the fishing and all that. And I'm trying to get out, every day as much as I can, even if it's just for a few minutes. Lately, I've been taking a lot of short walks. I'm going to have a video coming up about where I get my images for my photography and the scenery and the B-roll for my videos, and a lot of that just has to do with slowing down and being observant. There's going to be a video coming out about that shortly. The other night we had a strong geometric, I guess this is what they call it, storm that it's where the sun flares come off the sun, and it was very strong, and that's what gives you your northern lights. Now, this storm was so strong that we got northern lights here in Rhode Island, which is unusual, but this is the strongest storms that we've had in 20, 25 years, they're saying, and people were reporting seeing the northern lights all the way far down as Texas and Florida. It's been all over the news. There's been pictures just flooding my Facebook with these northern lights. I'm going to have a video coming out very shortly about the northern lights and showing you what I captured on my phone. Believe it or not, if your phone has a night sky mode, it can actually do a good job, and then you just go in and slightly edit it to bring out the colors more. That video is also going to have some pointers, so if we get a chance of seeing the northern lights again, or you happen to be vacationing to an area like somewhere in Canada, Alaska, Iceland, Greenland, Norway, somewhere overseas, that you have a chance of seeing the northern lights, of how to actually photograph these. Now, I will tell you that the northern lights that happened with this last storm that was so powerful that we were seeing all the way down in Florida. These are not the dancing lights that you see in videos that occur in Alaska or Iceland, where you just see the ripples and the dancing lights across the sky. It wasn't one of those. These were just more or less glowing color and glowing streaks, but it was still spectacular. I'm 55 years old. This is the first time ever I've had a chance to see the Northern Lights, because every other time that they said there was a chance in my area that I was living in, New England, typically Rhode Island, Eastern Connecticut, Southern Massachusetts area, either one, it didn't happen, or two, we had cloud cover. But it's very rare to see it. So we had 3 nights now of it. I went out the first night, I got some photos. The second night I did not go out because I went saltwater fishing during the daytime, and I come back just too tired to actually go out. But tonight, as I'm recording this video here, being May 12th, Mother's Day, tonight I'm going to go out and see if I can catch any more Northern Lights. Now, I will tell you that we are supposed to have some cloud cover and possibly a 9% chance of rain, so I don't know if I'm going to catch any tonight, but at least I have a bunch of photographs from the first night. And in that video, I'm going to put some tips about how to actually photograph the Northern Lights. So look forward to that coming out in probably a few weeks as I go through and edit that. Let's see what else has been going on. Still downsizing a lot, still getting rid of just a lot of stuff that I have not been using. My life has been totally changing again this year, with really having to slow down, closing my online businesses except for my website, just doing a lot of stuff and getting back to basics. As you saw in one of my videos, I ordered a fully manual film camera that I'm going to be putting a video out on it shortly. I haven't ran a full test roll through it yet, and I haven't fully edited the video or recorded the video yet. Thing with shooting film is these days it can be expensive as opposed to back in the 70s or the 1970s and 80s was the last time I shot film. So it's a little more expensive now, depending on the type of film. Rolls can go anywhere from $5 to close to $100 for a either 12, 24, or 36 exposure roll. Then you got to pay for the processing if you don't do the developing yourself. Now, I don't have a place that I can do the developing myself. As you can see, my room is very bright. I don't have any dark room place that I can do it. Not only that, a lot of those chemicals, you really have to have good ventilation. I think it's either the developer or the fixer. I don't think it's the finisher, but one of the two chemicals is like really toxic. You don't want to be breathing that in. Plus, you have to be careful of, once your chemicals have only so many uses, and then you have to be careful of where you dump those. I know a couple places that used to have those photo booths, and back in the 70s they just used to either dump it into the ground or down a drain. I don't suggest that. These chemicals are very toxic, and that's why a lot of places have gotten away from doing film, not to mention that it's expensive. But to go along with that, with my digital photography, and especially with using my cell phone, I have ordered a bunch of photos off of Google. My phone automatically backs up to Google Photos so that I can download it on either my iPad for making my videos, and then I always have my phone with me. I am always recording something. Oh, quiet Google. I know I said the word Google. Alright, anyway. So yeah, I'm always taking photos. So I've actually ordered some prints off of Google One of my orders has been shipped already. The thing with ordering prints off of Google is they take about 3 weeks, which is almost the same thing for once a place receives a roll of film and then processes it and sends it out. So we'll see when I get those in what they actually look like. I'm looking forward to it because there are some memories that I want to keep as prints. Prints, unless you have a fire or a flood or some type of storm come through, as long as you keep them away from the light. A lot of people put them in photo albums or shoe boxes. They will last forever. And I'll be honest with you, digital, digital, you have to keep backing up and several copies on your hard drives or even the cloud. But here's the thing with digital photography. If that cloud service was to go away, you will lose all your photos. They might give you a time frame to actually download them, but you will actually lose your photos eventually. Hard drives, because they're electronic, and you know the SSDs you can, which is your solid state drives, you can only write to several times before they become no good because the memory chip has different sections on it, and I'm not up fully on the technology, but like each section can only be written to so many times before that section becomes useless. Now the chips are getting better, but that's the way that works. Your analog drives are mechanical, they're spinning drives, there's a lot more mechanics involved, so stuff can break down in that. One power surge, a lightning strike will destroy a drive. Now I have my stuff backed up across 2 drives, but still they're in the same location. So if something happens to this location, it's gone. I stand a chance of losing probably at least 5,000 or so photos, if not more, should something happen to my drive. Whereas if you have them printed out, your chances of that are less, and your photos will last a lot longer. You find a lot of photographs in your antique shops and such that go back like hundreds of years. And I had an apartment fire back in 1995, so I had a few photo albums that got some smoke damage and a little bit of water damage, but because the fire was not in that particular room, a lot of my albums were saved. Now, unfortunately, my, at the time, hard drives and VHS tapes, those are all destroyed, either from water damage or the fire actually getting to them or smoke damage, destroying the electronics. I took a few of the photos that were actually destroyed and, well, not destroyed, but kind of ruined, and scanned them in, brought them into a photo editor. At the time it was not Photoshop, although now it's Photoshop and be better. I forget which one I used. I mean, this is going back to 1995. And I was able to restore some of those photos, not 100%, but at least to save that memory. So, yeah, that's as far as photography goes. So, I think that's kind of it as far as the update goes on the spring adventures and the status of the videos right now. Like I said, I do have some videos in the works that are going to be coming up, hopefully in between time of those posting and going live on the YouTube channel, that the weather starts getting better and I can do some more camping. Hopefully the fishing gets better as far as saltwater goes and such. But yeah, right now it's just the weather is being weird. The fish aren't biting. It's May. Last year I went camping. I woke up to a day of one morning, Memorial Day weekend, of 39 degrees. So it's to be expected up here in New England. I mean, there have been years that I've seen snow right up until the middle of May. So yeah. But anyway, that's just kind of a quick update I thought I'd share with you for today. And we'll see you in the videos that I have coming up. And yeah, let's get outdoors. We're getting into the summer months now, and it's going to be vacation time, activity time, time to get outdoors as long as the weather cooperates. The kids will be getting out of school soon for the summer, unless you're in one of these jurisdictions that have year-round schooling. But I think even in those, the kids have 3 weeks off during the summer before the next session begins. So, and I know a lot of parents, even though there's year-round schooling, that they just pull their kids out of school for as long as they can legally get away with for summer vacations and all that during the summer. Let's get outside, and we'll see you in the next video.